If you're going to keep growing in a healthy way, you're going to have to give yourself some more grace.
Welcome to the podcast. Here's your host, Craig T. Owens.
I'm naturally pretty self-motivated. I love setting goals for myself, tweaking my schedule so that I can accommodate those new goals, and then charging ahead. And sometimes I see some progress, and sometimes I stumble a bit. And when I stumble, I've noticed that I get mad at myself, and I have a tendency to want to beat myself up over making those mistakes. And I don't think I'm alone in that. I think a lot of people find that they are their own worst enemy in the way that they speak to themselves after they have messed up. I'm not quite sure why we do that, because we're going into something new, and I'm not sure why we expect that it is going to be perfect the very first time that we start going into something. I think that some of this comes from a misunderstanding that a lot of us have about personal growth, especially in this social media age. See, a lot of us think that personal growth is supposed to look like a steady upward climb, like we make a change and then we just continue moving along, going forward, gaining things, and we never look back. And that's why I said in this social media era, we're usually seeing people's highlights. Very rarely does somebody share their lowlights on their social media feeds. But if you're going to be honest with yourself, and if anybody who has ever grown is going to be honest with you, if you zoom in on their growth trajectory, it doesn't look like it's a steady upward climb. There's some plateaus, there's some fall-offs, there's some troughs. Sometimes people seem to be going down more than going up, but eventually they'll right the ship. They'll get things back on track, and they'll continue moving forward. But it's in those moments that we have those missteps, those stumbles, that are going to be very crucial to what happens next. On a recent episode with my good friend Greg Harris, we were talking about habits that leaders can make in their life and how they can leverage some of those habits to move themselves forward. And sometimes we have to create new habits, which are going to result in missteps. Check out this short clip.
Listen, the golden rule applies to you as much as it does to anybody else. You need to treat yourself the way that you think other people want to be treated.
Preach it.
And so you give yourself some grace. Give yourself a chance to, hey, I stumbled, but I can pick up the pieces. Not I stumbled, beat myself up over it. And why even try? I'm just throwing in the towel. No, say, okay, I stumbled.
So let me repeat that phrase again. The golden rule applies to yourself. You need to treat yourself the way that you want other people to treat you. You need to talk to yourself the way that you would want other people to talk to you. In short, you need to give yourself some grace. You need to say, that was a stumble, but it's not the end of the world. I can pick up from here. I can learn something from this, and I can go forward. Sometimes I find that maybe I set too lofty of a goal for myself. It wasn't realistic, and I need to dial it back a little bit. You can learn something during those stumbles, but please give yourself grace so that you don't throw in the towel, but you say, I've learned, I'm going to move forward from here. Keep on speaking to yourself in that healthy way, and you're going to find that you will recover from those stumbles a little bit more. I'd also recommend that periodically you take a pause, that you look back and say, maybe I haven't gone as far as I'd like to, but if I look back over the last year, wow, look how much I've grown over that period of time. That will give you the encouragement to stay in the process right now, and it will also give you the encouragement to know that there are greater things that are coming. Speak to yourself gracefully and watch and see how you grow.
Contact Craig and keep up with his blog posts, books, and other videos at craigtowens.com.